Hello my dears. So a while back ago we made a video on a gringo portal. Somebody had asked about safety at say bus stations abroad, whatever country, you know, could be Ecuador, in that case it was, but it could be any country, Latin America, whatever. And we showed in the video how, you know, 9 out of 10 respondents said, oh yeah, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. Giving the impression to anyone reading the post that, well, it must be safe. But then way at the bottom, there'd be the one dissenting opinion guy that said, no, I got robbed over there, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So this theme, it's a movie that plays over and over and over all over social media, so that's what we're going to talk about. You can see the olives are coming in right now. Looks like the Indian figs are over, or they've been picked, they've been harvested. Okay, have it your way. You win, your teeth are bigger than mine. You know, what is there to know about safety abroad? This question comes up from time to time on a regular basis. And it's kind of a hot button topic, and here's what's happening. People will give their opinion based on whether they themselves have experienced crime, whether they've been a victim of crime or not. So they'll say things like, oh, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe. And being on social media being what it is, and human nature being what it is, that typically victims of a crime usually are a little embarrassed or what have you, for one reason or another. They just won't usually speak up. Sometimes they do, but usually they won't. So this age of the internet that we're in, that I referred to from time to time, it facilitates this groupthink. Because never before in the history of mankind have people been able to so easily gather together in one point and interact the way that people do now on the internet, on social media. And so this groupthink is very, very prevalent. So here's what I want to tell my viewers. You guys, if I'm sitting down having a cup of tea with a friend, and this friend asks me, what's up with crime, you know, moving abroad and crime? What is there to know? Well, the answer I would give is exactly the answer I give you in my videos. So, you know, that's the kind of content that you get on our channel. But the groupthink situation is it's the complete opposite of that, because, you know, this modern internet age also actually rewards groupthink. For example, on YouTube, if you put anything in your title that is considered negative, they won't suggest a video, or what that means is people won't see it. It gets buried and it won't get the views. So the bottom line is that you've got these two camps where one of them's a minority. One of them's talking to you as a friend and giving you what you really, you know, what you really need to know, what you really want to know. And the other ones are just kind of painting a nice frilly canvas for you that sounds good and makes you feel good. Because the internet and social media that facilitates this, then what you're seeing is you're seeing channels where they give you the superficial stuff. So in other words, you see all these channels, they get lots of views and all this kind of thing, but number of views is not correlated to the factual content that you're looking for. Useful, down-to-earth content that you're looking for. You also have, in the area of retire earlier and retire better, you know, it's very common to get the mainstream narrative. And so the conclusion that one would come to with this idea is twofold. Either people don't really want the truth, they just want to feel good, or one of these days social media is going to start suggesting and facilitating those people that actually create useful, truthful content. Right now, the social media it appears that it's rewarding those that put out feel-good information. And that includes all the shills and pumpers, but I'm all over the internet, and I was witnessing this question come up again. You know, hey, you know, want to go abroad, want to FI abroad, want to FIRE abroad, retire earlier and better abroad. You know, what's there to know about the crime? The group psychology just jumps right in. typical, same type of numbers. 9 out of 10 people, oh, it's safe, it's safe, it's safe, don't worry about it. And then one or two guys saying, could have been the same guy saying two things. One of them was about bravado. Oh, if it's just me and my friend, we can fight them off, this kind of thing. And the other thing was, oh, you know, Tijuana's not safe. I mean, when I start seeing cut off heads and shootouts going on at the border, why, you know, well, that's not safe. Well, we're saying that that's not an appropriate barometer. If one was to look the subject up and end up in this circle of conversation and see everybody saying it's safe on the safe side, and on the unsafe side saying, oh yeah, you know, over there's cut off heads and shootouts and stuff. If those are the barometer for judging safety abroad, you're way off the mark. So this groupthink idea is being perpetuated all over the internet about safety. And what it comes down to is the people that haven't been victims of any kind of safety issue are the ones speaking up saying it's safe. But that is no way of making a judgment about something. That's not the complete picture. So what is the complete picture? What is the way to make heads or tails of your safety when you go abroad? So here's what you want to be looking at. Before we get to that, there's a phrase I see over and over and over. I feel safe. And we may be guilty of that. It might have slipped maybe once or twice. We may have said it. But usually we don't talk like that because safety has nothing to do with feeling. And the feeling comes from those, as we already discussed, that have not experienced any safety issue. So the feeling doesn't have comprehensive value and isn't, you know, statistically correct. So how to make heads or tails of it? Well, we're back to this trail. The other one got blocked. It's always an adventure.
Alex said he went through that, but it was okay.
Let's see, what are we getting into here? The Tales of the Lost Ark. I don't like the look of that. So what you really want to know is you don't want to know somebody's feelings because they didn't experience crime. What you want to know is what crime is actually happening. We're not even going there yet as far as to who is it happening to. We want to know who it's happening to, but the first thing we want to know is what crime is happening and what are the conditions under which it's happening. In other words, is there a particular spot in the city? Is it widespread throughout the city? Is it violent? Is it against foreigners, tourists, locals? What kind of crime is it? Is it, you know, just all of these questions. So that's the first step, figuring out what crime actually exists. Now, it's not super easy to ferret this out because, as stated, look, it's human nature. You know, people are naturally just lazy. We want the easy way. And the easy way is to go to our social media group and ask a question. So, but beyond that, we need to find out what's really happening on the ground. And once we know what's really happening on the ground, then we can address it and ask the most important question. Well, if this is the crime that's happening, right, A, B, or C, how can I avoid becoming a victim of that crime? Whatever that crime may be. It could be armed robbery, it could be just a pickpocket, you know, it could be, it was whatever, fill in the blanks. So those are the two crucial steps you need to find out and ferret out to really understand what you're getting into. And each location is going to be different. So you've got a little homework to do depending on, you know, whatever location you're going. There's no such thing as absolute 0% crime. You know, there may be really light crime like pickpocket, which isn't too light to the people that it happens to. But, you know, I guess we're comparing to violent crime. But, you know, nonviolent crime is not to be minimized because people lose documents, passports, you know, visa documents, you know, expensive equipment, cameras, money.
Their pride.
Their pride, you know. And so given that the people that are suffering crime don't necessarily want to speak up about it, and that statistics abroad aren't really kept up that well, really the responsibility falls back on you, the traveler, to do your homework. So that's the work that you have cut out for you. And no, it's not as easy as going on social media and asking a question, or going on a Gringo portal and asking a question. I hope you understand, in order for you to be as safe as possible, you really need to know the score on the ground, and that's what you want to be focusing on. We do have techniques and strategies to do that, and if you're good at doing that, great. But if you want some help, let us know, and check out the links below. And if you like the video, you know what to do with it. And don't forget to subscribe. And thanks for listening. Bye. We survived another day to tell the story yet again.